Another wildly senseless murder in Joe Biden's crime-ridden America. In broad daylight, an EMT who just helped someone was stabbed to death in a random attack in New York City again. EMS Lieutenant 61-year-old Allison Russo Elling stabbed multiple times in the neck. Police charging 34-year-old Peter Zopoulos with murder. Police saying he's undergoing a mental health screening as we speak. Joining me now, author and conservative commentator. First time to this show, welcome Shemeka Michelle. Shemeka, every couple of days we have one of these. This poor EMT whose job is to help people live and survive gets attacked randomly and dies. What's happening in this world, in this country?
Thanks for having me, Eric. You know, this makes me so angry. And I have two things that make me angry, even beyond the fact that this woman lost her life. One is because I keep seeing many publications say they're announcing her death. Let's call this what it is, a heinous crime, murder. And secondly, I think that there are people like myself, when they hear Mayor Eric Adams say that this assailant will be held accountable, we want to know, is that really true? Because in many blue cities across America, we're watching leaders allow upstanding citizens to be terrorized by people who are acting like thugs and wild coyotes. We don't know if he's really going to be held accountable because they're in and out of jail. They're not being held accountable, and so we don't trust it. And when we see this happening in New York with Mayor Eric Adams, instead of him pushing New York sewer water as drinkable and talking about this brand, we want him to know that it's time that he do something, because this brand, we're not buying it and we don't trust him, and this is getting way out of hand.
Yeah, meanwhile, we just had a segment where the FBI is going after a Christian pastor who was really kind of defending his own son. His house gets raided. Folks, roll that video of these 8th graders in Chicago. What's going on there? I'm not seeing a lot of raids happening there. Roll it.
I told you it's gonna get.
We don't play with no regular on my butter.
We do it.
Don't play my slime. On 4th grade, it will guess like that. Switchy. No talking.
No cap.
No talking.
This game.
3 switches right now.
And I put the
Shemeka, those are 8th graders. One of them had a cap and gown, like a graduation. They got guns with switches. Switches turn a handgun, a firearm, into an automatic weapon.
It's really sad. And this is something that we talk about a lot in the community, how we have so many kids that are without fathers who are not giving them the guidance. But not only does this start at home, we really need politicians and people in positions of power to step up. Stop hiding in your offices. We need you to get out and actually do the work that would support those of us who are actually trying to have solutions in the community. When you sit behind your closed doors and just hold a position, you're not really doing what is going to help and make the changes that are going to be better.
Shemeka, I got about 20 seconds or so. I want to roll that video of that EMT getting stabbed again. And I just want to point out, folks, this is broad daylight. Are we getting numb to these scenes, Shemeka? Where are the people who step in and help stop some of this? Final thought.
You know, I do think that there are certain people that are getting numb, but so many of us are out here fighting. And I just want to tell people, don't let this stop you. We cannot let them take over this country with this foolishness. We have to continue to speak out and speak up and make the changes.
Yeah, I don't know if you saw, but there was a guy on a moped or a delivery guy, and he just stood there looking and took off. I don't know. I keep saying it, folks. I get involved. I pray to God I would be getting involved in these types of things if they're ever in front of me. Shemeka Michelle, great having you on. We'll get you back again very soon. Appreciate your time.
Thank you.